Hi everybody, welcome back to another video. So as you can see in the thumbnail, let's talk about the devil and his 4D chess. First thing that I have to stress is something that I want to follow up from a couple of videos ago. The biggest mistake that any human can make, and this is actually the work of Satan himself, is to have people think that they are far more intelligent than what they really are. And you can speak to the elites of our society, the elites in business, and they understand these principles. And I think it's in Sun Tzu's Art of War: if you're strong, you want to look weak, but if you're weak, you want to look strong. And these are manipulation tactics, but I'll cut straight to the chase. What we're going to see at the end of time, and again I've touched on this before, is we're going to see the demolition of society, and the devil's used this trick a few times. You'll even see on the American dollar bill the pyramid with the eye on top of it, and the Latin words on there are ordo ob chaos, which means order from chaos. And this is the tactic of the devil, and what he does is he stirs up all kind of strife, and then when the time is right, he will come and he will present the solution to the problem. Now this isn't new, this is age old, and it's just a matter of if you have fallen into the trap of thinking that human beings are far smarter than what they actually are, or that this information is being given to us from a darker source. And that just comes down to people being willing to admit that they're not at all as smart as what we think we are, and that we are being manipulated on a global scale. So this 4D chess that I'm talking about is what's going to happen at the end of time to institute the mark of the beast and ordo ob chaos, order from chaos, the final world system, right? Beast means a king or a kingdom. A horn more means king. A beast, if we go back to Daniel 7 specifically, it's always talking about a kingdom, right? Horns then come out of these quote-unquote beasts, which can also be interpreted as living creatures. Beast just sounds like the devil, but it doesn't mean that. It means a kingdom. A horn is a king that can come out of these, or a smaller kingdom that come out, but you can go find all that out for yourself, and God bless you on your journey. So what the devil will do, he will whip up strife, and he will then remind the whole world that things were a lot more peaceful when the tenets of Jesus were kept. He will then present this back to the world, but what he's going to present is a perverted version of the gospel, which is going to be led by the Roman Catholic system. And there's a prophecy in the Bible that says 7 women will cling to one man. These 7 women will say, the 7 women will say, let us wear our own clothes, let us eat our own bread, but take away our reproach. Now, the man that it's talking about is the man of sin, and when it talks about women, it's talking about religious bodies or churches, and when it talks about 7 in the Bible, that means it's complete, so that means it means all of them. So they're going to turn to one man who is the man of sin, who will be the head of the Roman Catholic system, also known as the Pope. The devil is manipulating him, a marionette, and he is just another moron who decided to accept what the devil offered. And for whatever reason, these people actually strike bargains with the devil on different levels. And that's one of the things, like I've come up against that before, that voice in my head, and the conclusion that I always came to was, no matter what the devil ever offered, you can't trust him. He's a liar, and that's the difference between God and the devil. God says, I will never lie, and he's never lied. Everything in his Bible has come true. You can go and become a student of prophecy yourself if you don't already know. And he says that in the end, the devil will use this tactic. His 4D chess, is a common term is these days, 4-dimensional chess, and he will manipulate people into accepting this new form of quote-unquote Christianity, but it'll be a pseudo-Christianity. So you've got wear our own clothes, right? Jesus says you need the robes of Christ. Eat our own bread. Bread is doctrine, okay? And so that means let us make our own clothes, let us have our own salvation, eat our own bread, make our own doctrine, only take away our reproach, which means make us feel good about ourselves. And this will come down to this new ruling system, the churches of the world bowing to this system and saying, well, we'll follow you, but just let us do this. And he's going to say, yeah, sure, just one thing, we're all going to stop and have church on Sunday, and it's going to seem completely innocuous and the world's going to come together and everything's going to be looking great. But just like, I think it was Jeremiah, you can correct me, please feel free to correct me, go into the Bible, correct me, but it was a prophet who went to Israel when they were burning incense to Ishtar, and they called her the Queen of Heaven, and he said, stop burning incense to the Queen of Heaven, stop it. Stop worshipping idols. And they said, no, get out of here. Everything's good while we're doing this. We don't care. And he says, you're not worshipping God. You're being led into a trap. They said, no, get out of here before we kill you. And that's exactly what we're going to see at the end of time. There's going to be a tiny few people who are going to say, stop burning incense to the Queen of Heaven. It's not God that you're offering all this stuff to. And they're going to say, get out of here, get out of here. God schmod, we're having a good time, things are looking better, you're a troubler of Israel, beat it. These people are going to continue to stand up and try to call people back to the commandments of God and tell them if anybody receives the mark of the beast, which is going to be the Roman Catholic system, and their mark is enforced Sunday worship, come out of her, my people. If you choose to stay, if you choose to kill the prophets, which is going to be, if anybody doesn't accept the mark, then they get the death sentence put on them. And that goes for everybody who chooses not to take the mark. You will all be judged as complicit in that command because you didn't separate, you didn't stop, and you said, yeah, that's fine. We're going to keep burning incense to the Queen of Heaven. Devil's 4D chess, right? There are levels to this, and the only way to keep your mind clear is, as Jesus says, the truth will make you free, and that is only if you allow the Holy Spirit to enter your mind. He will open your eyes, as the message to Laodicea says. He will cover you with the garments of Christ, and he will have the scales fall from your eyes, and you will be able to hear, and you will see clear, and you will hear, and you will see the world for what it really is, and you will come into a saved relationship with the Lord. So when he returns to destroy Babylon and this false kingdom that the devil is very busily setting up, as I said, everything else in that book has come true, and that rock which is going to come from heaven and smash that statue on the feet, which you can go back to Daniel 2 to find out for yourself what I'm talking about. That meteor is coming, and that meteor is the coming King, Christ, who is coming to decimate and destroy all who threatened his people. So remember, you are not nearly as smart as what you think. And I know that's the worst thing that you can say to anyone. There's nothing that'll make people feel worse than when somebody comes to them and says, you know how good you think you are? Not even close. That's why we need God on our side, because playing chess with the devil, look at me, I'm so smart, you don't have a chance. Not a chance. You will have to ask God to help you. And I understand that's the biggest thing for most people in this world to do, to ask for help. And that's where humility comes into it. So Babylon has fallen. The writing's on the wall. Thank you all. I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.